Here we go, yeah. at the top of the class on a roll, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? I can almost guarantee you I'm blowing out your eardrums because that's happened every single stream for the past week. Let me go ahead and make some adjustments. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if I'm blowing out your eardrums. Until you let me know if I'm blowing out your eardrums, I'll talk a little bit quiet. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Hopefully this is a good volume for you guys. Okay, no, we're good, guys. What is going on? Welcome back. Guys, we got to redo that. We got to redo that. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's redo it. Let's redo it.
Oh, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Where's my ATB crew at? Let me know in the chat down below. For some reason, that's what I want to say. It's the description down below, but in the chat down below, shout out to Dave Digital. We were just waiting for Dave to pop in here so we could start the live stream. But what is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for spending this wonderful Wednesday night with the Candle Mafia. There's a lot of things you guys could be doing right now. You could be eating dinner with your family. You could be, just getting home from work, trying to relax. But you guys are choosing to sit here with the Candle Mafia to do a bunch of TA and absorb some of this stuff we call sauce coming from your boy Frankie Candles. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget, smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get a spin on that wheel of pain and pleasure where there's multiple chances to win some free crypto or a signed copy of Ben's new book, Catching Up to Crypto. And you never know if we hit some like goals. Sometimes we'll give away a hat. Sometimes, hey, maybe we'll even give away a Candle Mafia crew neck sweater. And shout out to Chemistry Bro. We're in the works trying to get those hoodies on the site ASAP. And we may have a, with that being said, let's see t-shirt on the way, potentially. But yeah, guys, if you guys are interested in checking out the Frankie Candles crew neck sweater, you can check out frankiecandles.com or go to Hit Merch, click on brands, and then go ahead and select Frankie Candles, and you can see all of our new merch. We got some pretty dope merch out there. I'll just throw this hat on now. There you go. We got the Haikanashi Candle Mafia hat right here. I'm gonna pop this on. What is going on? Is everything okay? There we go. Woo! There we go. There we go. Boom. But thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. But we got a great show for you guys tonight. We're taking a look at Bitcoin. We're taking a look at those altcoins. We're going to be talking about some key levels tonight. As you guys know, we talked about the Golden Cross yesterday. Shout out to anybody who saw that video that we uploaded earlier today, talking about that Golden Cross, kind of back testing it, seeing how it has performed in the past. And I hope you guys were able to take something away from that video. And hopefully it gives you some insight into, how much we could actually trust this Golden Cross on the daily time frame. We will also go ahead and check that out again today and just kind of cover it a little bit more. But we're going to take a look at the altcoins as well, taking a look at those key levels of support on Bitcoin. If we are going to break down, let's see what our poll says. Ooh, baby, what a close poll. I said, what comes first, 20K or 25K? 51%, almost an exact 50-50% flip, 50-50 split between 20K and 25K coming first. It's kind of how I'm feeling, guys. I'll be honest with you. Now, there are some things that are making me lean a little bit bullish at this very moment. In the short term, there are some things popping up. Again, you will know I am leaning a little bit more bullish in the long term. I do think that due to this big move that we got up, I do think we could continue up to 25K, but I am being very careful because there are some things that are looking a little bit bearish. But again, guys, the past couple weeks have been super choppy, super sketchy. So make sure you're using good risk management out there and not just kind of YOLOing into your trades. But we're going to cover everything, guys. Yeah, shout out. Also, guys, I am going to be on Lifer's channel at 8:30. Well, I won't actually be there. We actually recorded it earlier today, but it was a really cool conversation. We had a really cool convo talking about crypto, talking about the charts, talked about some news articles, talked about some life stuff. So if you guys are into that, make sure you go check out on 8:30 on Lifer's channel. We will be going kind of live. It's like an interview, but it's not a live interview. But go check it out, guys. It's going to be awesome. Obviously, on Crypto Lifer's channel. Go check him out. We love Lifer. Shout out to the Lifers. Shout out to Crypto Lifer, the leader of the Lifers. And yeah, we got a great show for you guys. Before we go ahead and jump into it, guys, jump onto it? Do we jump onto it or we jump into it? I think we jump into it. But guys, without further ado, you guys know we're trying to improve our health, spelled HELTH. You guys ever see that meme, health? It's like the Stonks meme, but it's HELTH, whatever. But we're going to start it off with a little bit of this delicious, this is actually cactus juice, guys. Aztecian cactus juice, not Aztecian cactus moss water. But we got to stay alive. We got to stay alive so we can look at the charts and update the Candle Mafia often. Let's see. Okay, you guys are crazy. All right, salute, Candle Mafia, Jimmy Two Shoes. I know you're out there somewhere. And also, guys, I did see that super chat from XRP Shillbilly, the OG. Bro, good to see you. Thank you for being here, bro. He says, Billy's, we out here. Let's go. Shout out to XRP Shillbilly. Good to see you in here, bro. 84 Reckless, let's go. Tap that like button. Shout out to 84 Reckless. Always sending those super chats. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to lick, click, tap, touch it with your butt, creepily fondle. Who watched the morning show? Did you guys? I went for a creepy fondle on Ben, but I got nervous, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I went to go touch that. You know, I went to go touch him, and then I got nervous. I had to pull back. I'm sorry. But salute, Jimmy Two Shoes, my paisan. Salute to you, my brother. Oh my God, this is so bad. Oh, God. It doesn't even taste like... Some of these juices taste like celery. This one just tastes like grass. That's disgusting. But we're just going to switch hats constantly throughout the stream, guys. But before we jump into the charts, guys, let's go ahead and see what we got going on in chat. Let's see what's up with the Candle Mafia. Let's go. Shout out to Thesis himself. First person I saw. Shout out to Thesis. Thank you for being here, bro. I do appreciate you. Dave Digital, as always, what is going on? We got second Tim 32. What is going on? Complete with pickles. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Mr. Redbeard, what is going on? Thank you for being here. Nomad Dad in the house said jump on first, then jump on first, then jump. That's how I've always done it, at least. Shout out to Nomad Dad. Seek and Hunt. Shout out to Seek and Hunt. I think it was Seek and Hunt that said he had a turtle named Shishi. And about 9% of people don't like turtles. So that's an interesting statistic. But you guys know, I like turtles. So let's see. Mr. Boods, what is going on, man? William, what is going on? Thank you for being here, saying what's up to Shillbilly. Let's get it. Better cry. Shout out to William. I see you, bro. Let's see. Hard Fork Crypto. What is going on, man? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Crypto Billy. If you love Frankie, subscribe right now, guys. We just recently hit 40,000 subscribers. So go ahead and hit that like button and smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Shout out to Chemistry, bro. I see you, Ken, bro. I see you. I'm going to give you the sauce, but I'm also working on something else for you, Ken, bro. I'm working on those Candle Mafia hoodies, man. We just want to get the design right. You know what I'm talking about? But let's see. Bada boom, bada boom. James Dixon, what is going on? Shout out to you, man. Yeah, shout out to you. No relation to Dixon. Apple Juice, as you guys know him. Audio clipping slightly. We got a slight clip from Rob the Crypto Snob. Hopefully that gets a little bit better right there. Shout out to Rob. I never know if it's a clipping thing or a volume thing, which is usually related to each other, but the way we have it set up, sometimes I could clip and the audio will actually be distorted without my volume actually being very high. All right, let's see. Dudes will order as soon as it's there. Let's go. Shout out to Chemistry, bro. Shout out to Michael Russo. Shout out to David Brumbolo, says 50,000 here we go. 50,000 here we come. 100K incoming. And you guys know the Candle Mafia we will get our channel name on that Hit Factory building when we hit 100,000 subscribers. And we are just creeping up on 50. So let's go. Shout out to David Brumbolo. Chemo Sabi, what is going on? Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to French Toaster. Shout out to Vlad. And shout out to Nomad Dad and Mr. Bods. Mr. Boods says dump may happen. Big dumps. Let's go. Well, and Dark Crash. Shout out to Dark Crash, guys. Don't forget to drink your water. He says, few minutes late. arranging doctor's appointment. Hello, everyone. Don't forget to drink. There it is. Don't forget to drink water. Subscribe to the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. Shout out to you, Dark Crash. We got the gross green water today, but I actually have to drink this. I usually take like one sip on stream, and then I kind of try to throw it out, and Mrs. Candles is like, drink it. And yeah, I'm going to take another little sip of this. Shout out to Mrs. Candles trying to keep me alive. Gotta love her. Shout out to V Slim. But guys, without further ado, obviously we do have some stuff to look at on the charts today, and we actually have some stuff to talk about. Finally, not that we got any crazy movement, but there are some things popping up that we worth actually talking about. So let's go ahead and jump right into the charts. Here we go. Okay. So, starting off with no levels on the chart, I want to start off with a bear chart. Shout out to Steve, says, Arweave, my liquidation is 1098. Should I let it ride or take my $40 loss? Ooh, baby. Shout out to you, man. First time super chatter. Let's go. Thank you for that super chat. We will try to take a look at Arweave in just a minute. But let's first take a look at Bitcoin. Shout out to you, though. I do appreciate it. Arweave will be that first altcoin we look at. And then hopefully you don't get liquidated in the meantime. I don't think you will, though. Hopefully you won't. But we will definitely take a look at it for you. No problem. We got your back, Steve. Don't worry. We got you. Custodian of Earth. Let's go. Shout out to you. Just pretend you're eating some cannolis. Hey. Oh, God, man. I could use a good cannoli. It's been too long. It's been too long, guys. If anybody's got any good cannolis out there in the Candle Mafia, hook your boy up. It's been a long time. Or a bagel. I'll take a bagel, too. But, guys, here we go. Let me just turn off this Lux Algo price actions concepts really, really quickly here. And let's take a look at what we got going on. Bitcoin's still going sideways, guys. Bitcoin is still going sideways, just trading within our range here, and we're going to take a look at those key levels in just a second, but let's go ahead and hop up to those higher time frames and see what we got going on. Now, going to pull up Market Cipher here. VWAPs on these higher daily time frames as well as the weekly are starting to cool off. Something worth taking a look at. Obviously, that 2-week is starting to round off as well, and that monthly green dot is confirmed. Obviously, not too much to see here. These take 1 month to print each candle, so obviously, not too much information to gather until we wait another 20 days to print another candle here. So not really much to look at on the monthly, but that weekly and that 2-week are starting to cool off with those VWAPs. Taking a look at the BitLab trading suite here, not getting any super top signals on the weekly, not quite on the 6-day either, not on your 5-day either. Your 4-day is starting to show slight signs of a bottom with that red wave on the significant movement, and you are getting a little RSI divergence here. There you go, 5 divergences. You have an RSI stock or stochastic momentum, OBV, and MFI. Bearish divergence here on the 3-day. A little bit of a top signal here on your significant movements as well. Taking a look at Market Cipher, confirmed red dot on this 3-day. This has been here for a little bit now. 4-day is printing. Money flow still in the green. As you guys know, this is kind of how I'm treating this stuff. If the money flow still looks good, I'm still going to remain bullish in the long term. We can't always just expect green candles constantly. Obviously, we're going to have some kind of a pullback at some point to continue higher. And with that 4-day red dot, that 3-day confirmed red dot, we may start to see it here. Now, one thing that is starting to make me not concerned, but your 3-day money flow is starting to come out a little bit right there. But, your 4-day is still looking decent, and your 2-day is actually looking pretty good as well, starting to come up here a little bit. Just still pretty thick in the green. Your VWAP is also starting to curve back up as well. You guys will know when we had crypto on the show, we were looking at this. It was looking super fire. This was looking super juicy, just perfectly curved up to the 0 line right here. Looked like it wanted to print a green dot and maybe take that rip up to 25K, but then we got rejected at that 0 line. But now we're starting to get a little bit of a round bottom here continually, I don't know why I said continually, but now we are also starting to get a curved bottom here. So maybe finding, some local-ish bottoms, but, I'm not really trusting that as of right now. Taking a look at the daily, VWAP starting to curve back to the upside as well. And, guys, that daily green dot, if you guys are in the free Discord, I did update the free Discord today, just kind of talking about, that next green dot on the dailies, probably that next time that I'm really expecting a big move up or another giant leg to the upside if we're going to get it, or maybe it's just that move to 25K before we finally get a rejection to the downside. But VWAP coming up on the daily is looking pretty good. I am being careful of a VWAP flop on this daily when it happens. We'll have to see. We are going to print another candle here in exactly 1 hour, so we will keep an eye on this, see if we could start printing that green dot tonight. If not, it will likely happen tomorrow if we don't wind up getting a rejection at that zero line with the daily VWAP. Now, this is where things start to look a little bit dicey. However, if this is going to kind of play out how the dicey days have played out in the past, or at least the recent past, these bearish signs may not play out, but you cannot ignore them. And shout out to Gary. I pinned his chat. He said, "Hey man, thanks for dumping Bitcoin for me." I don't know if it was in the free Discord or the premium Discord. I was in the chat, and he was like, "Hey Frankie, can you have a meeting with Bitcoin and tell it to just dump a little bit?" And I said, "Yup, I have a meeting first thing in the morning." And we woke up. I had my meeting with Bitcoin. I said, "Listen, you're pissing off the Candle Mafia. I'm the one you want to deal with. You don't want to talk to the Candle Mafia. Listen, just take a little dump. Come down a little bit, and then we'll be cool. All right, let us get a short in, and then you'll be cool." And then Bitcoin was like, "All right, fine." It fell a little bit. Shout out to Tyler Durden. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you for not tuning in, but I appreciate you for being part of the team, bro. Thank you for being here and always helping out chat, helping out the Discords, guys. Show our mods some love in chat, guys. We get the best mods in the game. These are not just chat mods. They do much, much more than that. They are key members of the Candle Mafia team. Shout out to Shane. Said, "Frank, first ever super chat. What level of trading view should we purchase to really learn charting?" Shout out to Shane. That's a pretty good question. Here, short answer, you don't need the paid version. If you're just learning and you don't have the money to spend, you don't need it. You could technically you could trade on a free version of TradingView, but the big thing about the paid version of TradingView, the most important thing, is that you get access to custom time intervals or custom time frames. This is something that is pretty key to trading, right? Time frames are very important. Might actually make a video about time frames. I get a lot of questions about that on the channel, in the live streams, in the Discord. Frankie, what's the best time frame to trade? Or Frankie, what is the relationship between two different time frames? So I may make a video this week kind of explaining that stuff. So keep an eye out for that, guys. But I would say, if you just get the first level, the cheapest one, I believe it's like $14, $15 a month, maybe. But that'll give you access to custom time intervals. It'll let you have a few more indicators on your chart, which is helpful. But really, it's just the time frames, in my opinion, that is the most important thing. And you get that, I believe, with the cheapest version. So I would say the cheapest one should do you fine until you want to maybe add some more volume tools, or you want to have multiple, more than 3 indicators on your chart, or what have you. The cheapest one should be pretty good for you. But let's see. Shout out to Dave Digital. LSLS, baby. But continuing on here, guys, that daily VWAP, this is really the main thing that I'm looking at for another big leg to the upside. But again, being careful for a potential VWAP flop, meaning this VWAP would come print a green dot and then immediately print a red dot. And the reason I'm being careful about that is because of the way that the time frames lower than this actually are starting to look. Now, 16-hour. You guys will remember, 16-hour red dot. When this is combined, we were talking about this in the opposite direction. We got the green dot here on the 16-hour on this candle. With the money flow coming up on the hourly, wasn't the strongest money flow crossover, so we didn't get too much gas out of it. But when you have the 16-hour printing a red dot or a green dot, and you have the 45-minute, the 90-minute, and the 1 hour, starting to agree with whatever dot you have, right? So if it's a red dot and you have a money flow crossover into the red on the hourly, or if you have a green dot on the 16-hour and a money flow crossover into the green on the hourly, a lot of times these mixed together can give you a big move down, or a big move up, depending on which way you're looking at it. But that is, let's see. Shout out to Tony D in the chat. What's going on, bro? Let's see. Yeah, I know. Wesley says, "I bet we barely dumped. The bulls are in." Be very careful here because the bulls have been pushing forth. But with that being said, with that 16-hour green dot and the money flow generally flowing to the downside here on the 1 hour, I'd watch for a potential crossover into the red on the 1 hour. If you get that with that 16-hour red dot, could potentially give you a big move to the downside. So just be ready for that, or just be prepared to at least keep an eye on it. Same thing on your 12-hour red dot. Money flow also continuing to slowly flow out here, guys. Now, this is, again, something that you need to this is something you need to keep an eye on, but, money flow coming out. This is obviously showing that money flow indicates money leaving or entering the asset, right? When you have crossovers into the green and money flow is coming up, like you see right here, that indicates money is flowing into the asset. And typically, I mean, just look at the correlation, right? Money flow crossover right here. It was literally the beginning of this entire move to the upside, right? So money flow comes up, money's entering the asset, and you rise in price, and the opposite when money flow comes out. As you can see right here, I will zoom in just a little bit. You can see your money flow starts to flow out. You get a crossover into the red. As your money flow is coming out, you get that big dump to the downside, right? So right now, technically, your money flow is cruising on to the outside, to the downside on the 16-hour as well as the 12-hour. Moving down to your 10-hour, money flow also still coming out. You did get this little pump, right? Or you got this little boost up in the money flow, but then you're just rolling back over. 10-hour red dot also printing currently. And this money flow is really what I'm looking for because this money flow really starts to cross over into the red. That is where we will likely see really start to see the bearish cases play out here. So you don't want to ignore this money flow. Obviously, we are going to be prepared to potentially get a little dip into the red and then start to cross back over into the green pretty quickly, because if this trend is going to continue and keep pushing to the upside, we may see a money flow crossover into the red, and it may be just a little fake out before we scoop right back up, or swoop, I should say, swoop right back to the upside, crossing back over into the green, into another big green wave. And just to kind of show you guys what I mean by that, you could see here, right? A lot of times you see you come up in a big move right here. Money flow is coming out, right? So you're like, oh God, we're stalling out, similar to what we're doing right now, kind of stalling out right here as your money flow flows out. And kind of a very similar situation with the money flow right here. You come down and then you get another little boost up, and then you cross over into the red, but you're only in the red for a short period of time, and then you cross right back over into the green, and then you get that push back to the upside. So we are going to be careful of this occurring. However, just in general, that money flow is looking more bearish. So you can see we got that little pop-up. We may come into the red shortly and then back into the green. So I would be careful of that situation playing out. But just as we are seeing the charts now, this money flow is trending to the downside and cannot be ignored, right? Also, another thing to realize here, our TA is going to pop up because I'm going to draw something, but I will delete it in a second. Another thing, guys, momentum is coming to the downside. We have a high, a lower high, lower high, lower high, right? And then we couldn't even get above the zero line with this, and we just got shoved back to the downside right here below the zero line. So momentum is also coming out, showing that momentum is kind of stalling out, right? We were ripping, and the momentum was stair-stepping to the upside. This is basic market cipher strategy here, right? Just stair-stepping. 1, 2, boom, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. And that's where you see the price marching to the upside, but now we are marching to the downside, showing that the trend may be weakening, right? So these are just things we have to keep in mind. I know everybody wants it to go to the moon. I would like it to go up. I would actually prefer it to go down. But I want Bitcoin to pump too. Don't get me wrong. But we have to be a little bit careful here because, money flow is pointing to the downside and momentum is also coming out, right? Red dot on your 8-hour as well. And again, that 24-minute money flow is in the red. Your 30-minute money flow is also in the red. 45 in the red, and your 1 hour is kind of bing-bonging around. 90-minute also in the red. Really curious to see what happens to this 1 hour money flow. If this crosses over, that could be the start of a move down. But continuing on, 8-hour red dots. So these higher hourly red dots are bearish signs, right? Like 16, 12, 10, 8, and 6-hour or 8-hour red dots printing, and your 6-hour red dot is confirmed, right? So this will kind of really tell us if we are going to get a move down. If this does not push us down, guys, the bulls are here, right? The bulls are just propping the price up with their horns. So just be careful. But just generally here, 6-hour money flow also just really flown to the downside. This is bearish money flow, guys. But again, we want to be careful that we're not just going to come down here, swoop in the red, and then come back up into the green. That is something we have to be ready for. But just in a technical sense here, this is trending down, this money flow. So 6-hour money flow also pretty bearish. 5-hour money flow and blood diamond is confirmed here, guys, as you can see right there. This is also a potential very bearish sign. They don't always play out immediately. Sometimes they do, but they don't always play out immediately. Sometimes you might bing bong around, and then you might get a second diamond here, right? And then that is the one that gives you the move down. However, confirmed blood diamond on the 5-hour, pretty bearish sign, right? Not end all be all, 100% going to dump, but definitely more of a bearish sign. Again, just adding to that list, showing that momentum may be weakening, right? So there you go. Money flow also coming to the downside. 4-hour. Now, this is, VWAP on the 4-hour is starting to round up just a little bit, but our money flow has come back into the red, right? So, as I've been saying, guys, it's a very, very choppy market recently. We're coming into the red, we're coming in the green, we're coming into the red. So, this is, this makes for some pretty choppy price action, but we are making a lower low here. So we may start, money flow is technically trending to the downside. Not only are we making lower highs on that 4-hour money flow, but the red money flow is making lower lows, right? So, you have, money flows up here. Now you're making a lower high, lower high, lower high, right? Trending down, and now you have money flow in the red, but then you just got another lower high on the green money flow right here, again, trending to the downside, and then this money flow is now making a lower low, showing that we may come into a deeper red wave. So, again, money flow on that 4-hour is a little bit bearish, but if this money flow crossover doesn't start to dump us down, guys, it could really show, again, how shout out to Dave Digital. But if this money flow stays in the red and we don't start dumping, it could really show that the bulls are really here to stick around, right? But just being very cautious, looking at that 2-hour, money flow is in the red, VWAP coming to the upside. So as we work our way, higher hourly time frames looking pretty bearish in my opinion. But as we work down to the lower time frames, obviously, nothing goes down in an absolute straight line. You can see we got a nice little dump from that value area high. Again, guys, one more time. Give it up for the volume profiles, guys. The volume profiles are undefeated, right? Shouldn't say undefeated. Nothing's 100%. Nothing's undefeated. But these volume profiles, with the value area high and the value area low, as long as you remain in these ranges, guys, it is range trade city, right? Come up to the value area high. You're looking for shorts. You short it. You take profit at the POC. Hopefully, you can ride it down to that value area low. We did not quite tap that value area low. So kind of what I would be careful of here is a potential retest of that point of control. We had this daily level down here that we tapped, but we may get that bounce, bearishly retest the POC, and that may be where we come down to either test this value area low, get a bounce, or where we may actually go ahead and dump down to some lower levels down here. So again, just perfect little rejection off that value area high. Are we going to revisit this value area low? Due to the laws of the volume profile, it would be more likely than not that we do come down to the range lows at about $22,600. All right, 827 people in here. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. We are going for 850 likes on tonight's stream. If we do, I will spin the wheel 20 times. 20 spins for 800 likes. Smash that like button if you like totals. Anyway, continuing on here, as far as levels, guys, levels remain the same for the most part. Value area high coming in around 23,280. Value area low coming in at 22,600. And then you don't want to forget our very, very key level here. Let me go ahead and actually label this. This is a very, very key level because if we break this key level of support at about $22,319, we will open up the low volume gap down to some lower prices, and that first likely stop would be, zoom out just a bit, you can see here that once we lose that key level, you got a big volume gap here, and that next high volume node does not come in until about this price down here, about 20,800, right? So this could, again, that is why this level is key. This is not just a key level because I think it's a strong level or we got 2-3 bounces off of it. I think it's key. The reason I am looking at this as a key level is because I know if we break it, there's not much holding us up and we'll likely fall to lower prices, right? So there you go. Let's take a look at this chart as well. So yeah, again, down here at about 20,800, you also have a value area low in this area. It is the value area low of essentially, all this price action here. So 20,800 going to be a key level to watch. And this would be nice, right? This is what I would prefer to happen. I would rather lose these levels and come down here to test this blue box or this value area low down here. And this would really be a nice little pullback before potentially coming up to some higher prices. Another thing you guys don't want to forget about is we do have that CME gap at about $19,500. Now, again, this is pretty far away. This is pretty far away. It would have to be a pretty big dump to get us back down there, but not impossible to come down and fill this $19,500 CME gap before continuing to the downside. So we may actually, come down and just do a little boop-de-doo, come down here, a little bing, a little bong, go fill that gap before coming back up to higher prices. And if we go ahead and lose that level at about 20,800, you could see we have another decent gap in volume. Now, this is a little bit of a choppy gap, but still just in general, once you lose this value area high at 20,800, or this level of 20,800, this value area high at about 20,650, this is where, you see, volume starts to, whoops, what happened to my brush there? Yeah, there you go, right? So volume falls off, it falls off a little more, and then, falls off a little more, right? So you do have that somewhat of a gap here. So if you lose that level, things might get moving quickly to the downside to fill that CME gap. Might be a quick dump down to fill that CME before getting a bounce. And then, if we continue down from there, that is kind of where I am getting a little bit nervous, thinking that, once we lose that $19,000 even level, start getting into the high 18s, another low volume gap, which obviously not only did we rip through to the downside, we also ripped up through to the upside. And if price decides to correct all the way down here and we break this high volume node, you will fall into that gap and likely come very, very quickly falling down to retest this level right here, which is a previous value area high at about 17,300. And that is about as low as I would like to go to maintain bullish sentiment, because technically, if we come down to this level, we will remain or maintain bullish market structure on a higher time frame and would still allow us to make some more upside. But once we start breaking below this level, I'm really starting to feel bearish on Bitcoin. And that is where my bullhorns or my long-term bullhorns will kind of just get sucked back into my head and hibernate for a potential bigger move down. And then the bullhorns will come out eventually at some point in the future. But there you go, guys. Again, not really much has changed level-wise. But again, those bearish signals that we were looking at on the 16-hour and the 12-hour, as well as that 8-hour, may wind up playing out. So now you guys know the key levels. Again, that range essentially remains the exact same as it has been between the value area high and that value area low. But now let's take a look at some of these lower time frames. Now, taking a look at that the 4-hour VWAP is technically starting to curve back up here just a little bit, but nothing really that, convincing, right? Nothing really to write home about. Is starting to curve back up. We will print another candle here in about 42 minutes. I'm sure we will continue to the upside here with the VWAP, but really gonna see where that next green dot could take us. But because we have the money flow crossover into the red, I'm not expecting too much gusto out of it, at least right now. We may just cross up, get a little bit of a retrace, get a little bit of a bounce, and then just continue and make a lower high to go down and make a lower low. So because the money flow is in the red, that green dot on the 4 hours not making me feel the best. I'm not really that excited about it, but we'll see what that gives us. So technically 4-hour is starting to roll back to the upside. Your 2-hour getting pretty close to printing a green dot. Again, as we approach the bottom of our range, or as we already did approach the bottom of our range. And if we're just going by the laws of the volume profile, boom, back to the high, then we took the dump down to the low. Now that 2-hour green dot may print. It may just give us another move back up to the top of the range, which would be very boring. But hey, guys, when Bitcoin decides to wake up and just absolutely dump or absolutely rip, and you're in a trade and you're getting wrecked, sometimes boring, predictable range trading is the way to go, right? So wouldn't be a horrible, horribly unlikely for us to kind of get that green dot on the 2-hour and continue to move to the upside. But again, the money flow on the 4-hour is back in the red. So I'm not expecting really anything crazy to happen to the upside until that money flow starts to come back to the upside. Now, Taking a look at your 1 hour. 1 hour is rolling back over to the downside. Again, a little bit more bearish in my opinion, right? That 2 hours looking for the green dot, but look at this. Snake eyes on the 1 hour barely gave you a move to the upside. So unless we really get a big move up, because as you guys know, when you have snake eyes here, these two little green dots very close to each other on Market Cipher, I think CryptoFace calls them snake eyes. This is typically a pretty bullish signal. Like the last time we did get snake eyes on the 1 hour was right here, and that was essentially the start of this big pump, right? The start of this big move up about 8%, right? We'll go to the next set of snake eyes that we could find on the 1 hour here, see where that took us. Another thing of snake eyes right here. Let's see what happened there. Snake eyes right here. That was the start of another big run to the upside, about not a big run, but about 6%. Oh, no, actually, yeah. No, that was the start of our giant move, right? That was the, yeah. Oh, interesting. These snake eyes actually happened on the exact candle that I gave the signal to look for longs and get in at the lows of the range here. But this is not why I gave the signal. But now that I look at the 1 hour, there was actually snake eyes on the chart too. We didn't see that at the time. We saw a bunch of other bullish confirmations, but those snake eyes would have been a great confluence. But again, guys, those last snake eyes was at the bottom of a range, and it broke us out of that range, bringing us all the way up to where we are now. Of that, if you went long on those snake eyes, you would have caught a 45% move to the upside. Not too shabby. But guys, nothing's 100% here, right? You do want to realize that. So, not all snake eyes. Yeah, you had snake eyes right here. Let me just show you so you guys know it's not 100%. Snake eyes right here, got a little fake out pump and then an absolute nuke to the downside. You got snake eyes right here as well. Got a little fake out pump, another nuke to the downside. So there you go, right? So not 100%, but those snake eyes are worth keeping an eye on. But again, because that VWAP is really just starting to flop right back over there, that is not the best sign, right? Money flow back in the green, but if this VWAP brings money flow back in the red with that 16-hour red dot, again, a little bit bearish, right? Shout out to A-Train. I love you back, bro. I love you back, man. Thank you for showing all the support, bro. I appreciate you. Yeah, they're turtle eyes. Shout out to Gary C. They're actually turtle eyes. And hey, I just want to say this. Let's see. Yeah, I like boring. It's the best. Yeah, I listen, especially on a weekend. If Bitcoin just wants to chill in range, I'm not going to complain. It gives me a couple days off at least, or at least a day off let's see. Yeah, Vincent says the best way to make money is in a range. It's predictable, right? So yeah, I would agree. It's great trading. Let's see. Frankie, what's up, buddy? Sup, chat and mods. Hope everyone is having a good night. Shout out to Jesse Sarenko. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for being here. Boom. Let's go. I forgot what I was going to say. I had something. Connor Anderson in the chat. What is going on, bro? I was going to say something here, but I completely forgot what it was going to be. I was going to say, oh, God, it slipped my mind. Anyway, but yeah, that VWAP flopping has got me feeling a little bit iffy about this. 45-minute VWAP also coming to the downside. 30-minute VWAP coming to the downside. 24-minute printing that red dot. Shocked. Absolutely shocked there's no blood diamond there. So yeah, I would say, shorter term, maybe we get a little bit of a bounce. I'd really watch that 2-hour green dot. I'd watch that 1 hour snake eyes, that 1 hour set of snake eyes, the 2-hour green dot, and eventually the 4 hour, even though the 4 hours a little bit far away. But again, with those higher hourly time frames, I'm not expecting these to really give us a rip to the upside unless we start getting VWAP flips and those higher hourly time frames quickly reverse, right? So that is kind of how I'm feeling about Bitcoin as of right now, guys. So yeah, definitely be careful, right? Because you want to remember, momentum is still coming out. The momentum is still coming out. The money flow is still coming out. That 4 hour, again, was in the red, back in the green. Now it's back in the red, right? That is more bearish, showing that we were already trending out with the money flow, right? Into the red, and then the bulls were like, no, we could keep going, and then they got shoved back down, right? So being very, very careful here. Very sketchy trading. That's why I am sticking to the range. And listen, if we're going to break this thing and rip, and you get into a long at the bottom of your value area low, at the bottom of your range, and we rip and we break out and go to 25K, you are in a position from the bottom of the range, and it'll be a grand slam trade. But if we just come up to the value area high and then dump again, you'll at least catch that little scalp to the top of the value area high, and then naturally you'll be looking for shorts up here, and if you're in a short here and we lose it to the downside, you'll either come down for a nice little short scalp before it bounces to the upside, or if we lose the range to the downside, you hit that grand slam trade all the way from the top, right? So this is why we trade like this. It kind of doesn't hedge you. I think that's the wrong word, but you're basically prepared for this thing. Whether this breaks up or down, if you're able to get into trades at the tops and bottoms of the range, when it does break out either way, you're likely to be in that position, right? So there you go. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. Let's see. What do we got? All right, let's go ahead, and that's basically how I'm feeling. The levels have not really changed at all. I would just be careful. Things are starting to look a little more bearish in the medium term. Still long-term bullish. Medium term, looking a little sketchy. Short term, maybe we get a little bounce. I always have a hard time breaking down, where I feel bullish and bearish, because then people are like, I don't understand. He's saying he's bullish and then he's bearish. Long-term trend may continue. That's how I feel. Bullish on the long-term trend. Higher hourly time frames may bring us down, but those take time to play out, right? So those lower time frames may give us a short-term pump to the upside. Then those higher-term hourly time frames will show face, dump us to the downside, give us a nice correction, and then once those higher-term time frames reset, it will give us more room to move to the upside. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. If it doesn't make sense, just tune in tomorrow night at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'll update you again. But there you go, guys. That is basically how I am feeling. But let's go ahead and take a look at the DXY, as we have seen almost exactly what we were looking for on the DXY. This is nothing new if you watch the show, but you will know we were checking in on this DXY every single day saying, hey, we're really close to our area of support here. This is a very, very strong level of support. You could see it was a very, very strong support resistance flip. We came up. We couldn't get above it. Finally, we ripped through, flipped it to support before coming up in a massive uptrend. And we were looking here like, hey, we're pretty close to this thing. We haven't tapped it yet, but we do have bullish divergence on the daily. And then finally, we get this yellow X, pushes us right to the level, right? It's almost funny. It's like, hey, we need a little help from the manipulation X's. The yellow X pops up. I got you, bro. I got you. Get down there. And it just pushes us down. We hit the level, completes another drive of bullish divergence, and then bang, we came right up to where we thought it would come up to, which is that local golden pocket coming in at about 103.65, right? So, starting to get a little resistance here, right? And, this is kind of, in my opinion, going to decide whether we get this dump or pump on Bitcoin. If we get a strong rejection from here, we may not break down out of this range to the downside for Bitcoin. But if we start seeing this thing push up, right? And you're just watching this thing push up and push up, push up, push up, flip it to support, we may actually move up to this target, which is coming in at about 106.416. And in that case, this is where we may see the breakdown to the downside on Bitcoin. So this is kind of one thing that I'm watching to anticipate a breakdown on Bitcoin. So we are getting a little bit of a rejection here. VWAP on that daily DXY is cooling off. But then you come down to the 8-hour, right? 8-hour looking for the green dot, money flow coming to the upside, right? 6-hour, green dot looking to print, money flow generally trending up. And your 5-hour green dot is printing, right? So are we going to kind of just bang our heads? Maybe we kind of start making some higher lows here, make somewhat of an ascending triangle, squeezes us to the upside, and then we could come up and revisit this level here at about 106.35. 45. So again, DXY kind of just been hanging out here for a while, but still maintaining a surveillance on it. And again, if we crack that golden pocket, going to be pretty bearish for Bitcoin, in my opinion, right? Now checking in on the SPY as well. As you guys know, yeah, we're just kind of ranging around on the SPY. But one of the things we are looking at is a potential dump, right? On a longer-term time frame, zooming out, you guys can see we were in this long-term downtrend, making highs, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Well, this was kind of a higher high, but just in general, high, lower high, and then, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, starting to reverse the trend here. Boom, got a little rejection, another higher low, and a breakout of this trend line. So if we do start to see, and we are getting a rejection on this golden pocket right here, and we are sitting right on top of this value area high of this, macro range right here. So if we hold support on this value area high, it would only be logical to assume that we would get a move back to the upside to come test these highs here that we got rejected from right here at about 431.94. However, If we cannot get above this golden pocket, we may push down following this line to retest not only not only to retest the downward trend line, this trend line we have right here, which would make a lot of sense because we would get the breakout and then a retest before coming up to higher prices. But not only would we be bullishly retesting that trend line, but we'd also be coming down and coming back into this value area, and we also have beautiful confluence between the trend line and that point of control coming in here in this red line right here. I'll mark it off, basically this blue box right here. So you do have a lot of confluence here of strong support, so if we do get a breakdown, I would look for a strong bounce here potentially. Again, confluence between that trend line and that POC being a very, very strong level of support, right? But one thing to realize here is that, once you break below that value area high, it would be somewhat likely to potentially come down and revisit your value area low. Because once you break back into this fair value for Bitcoin, if you don't get that strong bounce on the POC, it would be more likely for you to come down and revisit these levels down here at about 373. So just something to watch. A retest of the trend line would make a lot of sense, especially with the backup of that POC. And if you don't get that bounce, I would likely come down here to about 370, 373, right? So that's the SPY, guys. And then just kind of digging into Market Cipher, green dots looking to print here on a lot of these time frames. Your 10-hour, your 8-hour, your 16-hour VWAPs are coming up, but I would be very cautious of some VWAP flops. So there you go. Let's see. LFG, can we hit 500 likes by the 1-hour mark? Can we do it? How close are we to the 1-hour mark? Oh, baby. We got like 9 minutes, baby. Hit that like button, CandleMafia. If we hit 500 likes, if we hit 800 likes by the end of the stream, not even 850. We usually go for 850, but today we're only going for 800, and I'll go ahead and give you guys 20 spins on that Wheel of Pain and Pleasure. And I think we're going to start going but we're going to start adding in the pain part of the pain and pleasure. You guys will know we used to do a lot of challenges, spicy ghost pepper jelly beans, eat a cricket, drink something disgusting, whatever it is, do 50 push-ups, do some jumping jacks. We used to do that stuff, and then it kind of just turned into the wheel of pleasure for you guys and the wheel of poverty for me because I just give you guys all my money. But I think we're going to start adding in some challenges. I think it makes it fun. But let's go ahead and take a sip of that Aztecian and Cactus Moss Water, and then let's go ahead and continue on. If you guys want to see any of your altcoins, go ahead and throw them in chat right now. We'll take a look at them. I'm going to start off with Ethereum, and then we are going to be taking a look at your altcoins. So whatever alts you want to see, throw them in chat. Rob the Crypto Snob will collect your votes and count them, and then let me know what I should be looking at. And then basically Rob kind of takes over the show from there. He's kind of like, hey, Frankie, look at this coin. I'm like, okay. And then, hey, Frankie, take a look at this coin. And then when he's sick of it, he says, yo, spin that wheel. I'm tired. I'm sick of your annoying voice. I got to go eat dinner. So go spin those wheels. All right, let's go. Apsis says, I want a shirt. Well, shout out to Apsis. If you do want one of these CandleMafia crew neck sweatshirts, this is all that's on it. It just says CandleMafia with the Heikinashi uptrend there. With the pink and blue candles. If you want to check that out, you could come on over to hitmerch.com. Hit the menu button, brands. Sign up for the newsletter, join the Bit Squad. But go to brands, come on down to Frankie Candles. Go ahead and click there, and that will bring you to all of our new merch, guys. We still do have some of the CandleMafia Marionette Godfather t-shirts. And there is a limited quantity. I think we only have 50 of these, but there are some left. So if you guys want to scoop some of those up, I don't know exactly how many are left. I'll have to check tomorrow. But if you guys want one of those are limited quantity. And then all of this stuff is not limited, but we do have some really, really nice new designs that we put. And just so you guys know, these pictures are not the best. We're working on getting better pictures like this. This picture of the crew neck sweatshirt doesn't look the best, but I can assure you, you can see it right here. It does not look like that in real life. It's just the picture, but we will fix that coming up here pretty soon. But yeah, go ahead and check that stuff out if you are interested. I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and throw this link in the chat for anybody who is interested. So there you go. Now, what do we get? Do we get the... Oh, yeah, there's the alts. I was going to say, I didn't see the alts start flying in. Let's go. Shout out to Alex. What is going on, Alex? Thank you for being here, bro. He says LFG Frankie. I say LFG Alex. Let's get it. Shout out to Ant Art. What is going on? Said, do you send to Portugal, Frankie? I'll have to check out... Yo, they're asking me to check out some Forex stuff. Let's get it. Shout out to Water Swig. Shout out to Dark Crash. Dark Crash and Water Swig must be best friends. But shout out to Water Swig. Shout out to the Forex community. And yeah, guys. Yeah, totally forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, let's take a look at the altcoins. Let's go ahead and check Ethereum or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. I never took a sip of the Aztecian cactus moss water, guys. I'm on one today. Let's go. I love that people think this is Red Bull and not Aztecian cactus moss water. I think it's hilarious. It doesn't even look like a Red Bull can. Completely different branding. Anyway. All right, moving on here. I don't know what kind of weird drawing this is, but let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. Now, we are in somewhat of a similar situation with Ethereum as we are on Bitcoin. And that is, I would say Ethereum is starting to, is kind of lagging behind Bitcoin a little bit. Yeah, check out GVD USD. Let's go. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Maybe we should. Maybe we should open up like I don't know. I've never traded Forex. I think it's like MetaTrader or something. We'll open up an account and maybe we'll try our hand at Forex. I've been told by many people that I should move out of crypto and into Forex because it respects TA much more. So maybe there's a benefit to it. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Ethereum lagging behind Bitcoin just a little bit. VWAP on that 16-hour is coming down, but no red dot just yet. And this is interesting, right? Because your money flow is coming out still. You can see that pretty clearly. And momentum is also coming to the downside, right? So just kind of the same thing. Money flow momentum is coming out, kind of showing that the momentum is maybe dying here, right? And now I don't want to come off wrong here. Especially in the recent past, the bulls have done some crazy stuff. Every time we think we're going to dump, we get a squeeze to the upside, right? So this is still in the cards. A squeeze to the upside is still in the cards. However, on a technical level, due to the TA, due to the charts, due to the indicators, due to the technical signals, things are looking like it's cooling off, right? Again, money flow momentum coming out. Ethereum lagging a little bit behind. Looking for that red dot on the 16-hour pretty soon. We will print another candle in about 23 minutes. I can almost guarantee you, unless this starts getting a heavy bounce, we're probably going to print a red dot here on Ethereum on the 16-minute in about 22 minutes. Same thing with the 12-hour. Very, very similar. And you could even argue... And then I wouldn't really say that's too strong of a bearish divergence. 10-hour is printing that red dot. Again, money flow coming out smoothly, right? Coming out smoothly. Yeah. Hope your day is rocking. Can we take a look at Solana, por favor? Shout out to Jimmy James. Yes, we could try to take a look at Solana. No problem, bro. I got you. But 10-hour. 8-hour red dot also printing, just generally, very, very similar to Bitcoin. 6-hour red dot printing. 5-hour, no blood diamond on the 5-hour for Ethereum. And you don't have it on regular candles either. But you do have the confirmed red dot. Same thing on the 4-hour. Starting to roll over. Again, it's a couple steps behind Bitcoin, but it is starting to round off on the 4-hour. And then we'll take a look at that 1-hour. No snake eyes, but you did get that green dot, and now your VWAP is starting to flop. Again, why I'm not putting as much weight on those 2-hour green dots or the 4-hour green dot when it does come. Going to be very careful because that 1-hour, you get the snake eyes, you get the green dot, and now it's just flopping back over again. Especially because those higher hourly time frames are looking pretty bearish. Shout out. Yeah, guys, shout out to Hudson. Shout out to Hudson. He's in charge of our merch department. And when I tell you that our merch department, wait until we really get cooking with this, guys. Our merch department is on point. He's like, hey, man, just heard you. We're going to update the pictures. Don't worry about it. Boom. Come on. Shout out to Hudson. I love you, bro. Talk about being on point. Jeez. Yeah, shout out to Hudson. But yeah, also, guys, kind of exciting, kind of cool, just to touch on the merch one more time. Like, We have done limited drops, like you just heard me talk about when we brought up the website. But like if we get like in a stream and something funny goes down, or it's like someone makes a funny comment, or there's a little inside joke on the episode, we might do like super limited drops where it's like shout out to Dave Digital. With that being said, I say that 40 times a stream. It's a little joke between us, and we might drop like 10 of those shirts, or maybe 20 of those shirts, or 5 of those shirts, right? Because we can actually get the shirts up like almost next day because our merch department's so fire. So we're gonna be, merch is gonna be like one of the things that we're really trying to build up this year, because I think it's really cool, and I think we could really start to build a trader focused brand, right? Where like anyone, you don't have to be a crypto trader, you don't have to be a fan of Frankie Candles, you could just be you could trade oil, and we want to make designs that someone who trades anything can wear, right? So super cool. But anyway, VWAP flops on the 1 hour is making me a little bit cautious here. Taking a look at your 45-minute, looking for that red dot very, very soon. Somewhat of a bear pennant here, right? Yeah, I would say, somewhat. Not the, you kind of lost it a little bit there. But somewhat of a bear pennant here. This could potentially break to the downside. And then, if you actually go ahead and take this measured move, roughly could bring you to the bottom of this range, right? All the way back down to your lows down here, which are coming in at about, these lows are coming in at about $1,614. So, shout out to merch. Shout out to Post. He's shouting out the merch. Shout out to Jenna. Jenna says, who isn't a Frankie fan? Hey, shout out to Jenna Morehart. Yeah, we appreciate you. Thanks, Jen. But there you go. Might be a little bit of a pennant forming there. Nothing really too alarming here, but it would likely, measured move would break you back down to these lows. And then, again, just kind of within the range here, right? Just kind of trading within the range. Now, I want to zoom out a little bit and look at some bigger targets in case for some reason we do get that big move down. Major level. This is basically the key level. Very similar to the Bitcoin level. Shout out to Alex. Alex says, pull a fib. Say less, brother. There you go. Random fib. Shout out to Alex. But yeah, looking at, again, this level is very similar on Bitcoin. If I could actually just pull it up here real quick, that level being very, where is it? Key, right? Key level here. It's the lows that we made down here. Basically, the very, very bottom of this range opens up that low volume gap on Bitcoin, and it's a very similar situation on Ethereum, right? Come down, we made this low. That's your key level. Right underneath this level, what do you have? Big old volume gap. It's almost like a meme at this point. I don't know if we'll ever break out of this range, but if we do, and we come down, and you do come down to, all the way down, if that bear pennant breaks you down to these lows, around 1,600, and then we break down and we come to our actual lows down here. Once you break here, we could fall into that low volume gap, get a bearish retest, and then it's going to be a pretty quick move down, most likely, to this level down here at about 1,450, right? 1,440, 1,430, that area here, right before this breakout. So that is going to be a very key level. We lose that, going to be a quick move down to these levels. And then, you do have a decent bit of support down here, but then your next real major level of support comes in at this blue box right here. And the top of this blue box is at about $1,325. And the reason why this would make sense, guys, if you watch the channel, you will know we've talked about this a lot. You got a rejection there, somewhat. It didn't really come up to the level here, but then you got 2 rejections right there. Another rejection before flipping it to support and breaking out. But essentially, your breakout was right here, and you may get a breakdown of this level and a retest of your breakout level, which is right here at about 1,326. And we might get that cool off, boom, retest these highs that we made back here, and that might be where you get that next move to the upside. And that would be the most bearish. That would be the most bearish I would like things to get while still remaining bullish, right? Any lower than that, I'm really starting to question if this rally will continue, and I'll be really starting to look for more lower prices for Ethereum. But at the end of the day, guys, very, very similar to what we're looking at on Bitcoin, right? So there you go. 1 hour, no snake eyes on the 1 hour. But again, VWAP rolling back to the downside. 15-minute money flow is in the red. Your 30-minute money flow also in the red. And then again, you have all those higher hourly time frame red dots really, really, really breathing down your neck here. 10 hours printing. And then that 12 and 16 hour are following up right behind it. So very similar to Bitcoin, but there's those levels that you need to be watching if we do break down to the downside. And there you go. There's Ethereum or Erythrium as your grandmother might call it. All right, let's go ahead and see. Look at that. Rob the Crypto Snob is on point. On point. Let's go with the meme list. With the meme list. What does that even mean? With the coin list. Shout out. Let's go. Oh, no. Darren said that the Lifer video is going to be on at 3 a.m. his time. Well, hey, shout out to you, man. It is a pre-recorded interview, so there's not going to be that much time-sensitive information. So I would say if you're not going to be able to see it tonight, man, get some sleep. Watch it in the morning. You're not going to miss any sensitive information or time-sensitive information. But definitely go watch it. But, yeah, no, I wouldn't say, super I don't think it's super imperative that you have to see it tonight. But hey, if you stay up, I'll appreciate that and respect that. But hey, man, get some sleep. Get some sleep. All right, let's continue on. People want to see Jala. What is Jala? Jala? Is that some kind of a meme coin? Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kidding, guys. I know what Gala is. I'm just joking. It's like one new person in here is like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He said Jala. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Gala. I'll be honest with you guys. I know a lot of people hate on Gala, and I actually like Gala. I think I think the thing I don't think their tokenomics are the best, but as a project, I'm pretty bullish on Gala as a project. I know they have a lot of games in development. I know they have actual games being played that are playable, which is you can't say for all gaming companies in the crypto space. So it's nice that they're actually doing something, right? They're not just trying to sell you a 3D rendering, telling you it's the best game ever. This is Halo on the blockchain, and like it's just a 3D animation, not actual gameplay. They actually have games that you can play, and I know that because I've seen it with my own eyes physically. We've been to multiple Gala booths at conferences. We've talked to the team, I know that they're actually doing something, right? So I am pretty bullish on Gala. Yeah, there you go. Chemistry Bro said they're changing up their tokenomics, so that's great, right? So, there are ways they could change the tokenomics, whatever it is, burn mechanism or whatever it might be. They can change that, right? So it's already a strong project, which is the problem with most crypto projects, right? It's a garbage project. It's basically a scam, right? But this is a legitimate project. If they could boost those tokenomics, make them a little bit better, I'd be really bullish on Gala. I'll be honest with you. And also, it's one of the very few crypto companies that I actually get advertised to, right? I get served ads on Gala constantly on YouTube. I see Gala ads on YouTube all the time. So like they're out here and they're building, guys. They're building in the bear market, right? So here we go. Like they should. But taking a look at Gala games. Here we go. All right. Let's see. Let's get rid of some of this stuff. A little bada boom, bada bing. I delete this stuff every time we look at Gala and it just comes back. But taking a look, very, very similar to a lot of this other stuff. Daily VWAP coming up, but daily money. Oh, baby, yeah. Talk about indecisive, guys. Talk about indecisive. We're in the red, and we're back in the green, and now we're in the red. But now we're going to go back into the green, right? So just be careful out there. This is very, very, this will likely come back in the green whenever we print this green dot. Unless you get rejected at that zero line, you are likely going to get pulled back up into the green here. But, big daily bearish divergence confirmed, right? So you never know. In hindsight, just imagine this happening, right? VWAP gets rejected at the zero line, just like that. We've seen that happen a million times, right? And then you look back in hindsight and you go, oh, my God, it came up to the 786. It rejected the 786 perfectly. We had higher highs on our price. We had lower highs on our momentum waves. We had a daily bearish divergence. We know that's a huge bearish signal. And you could see this thing wind up dumping like that, right? And then in hindsight, you're going to be like, why did I not see that divergence? So just keep in mind, not impossible to come print this green dot and invalidate the divergence, especially in an uptrend like this. But just understand that, if you get rejected at that zero line, it would make a lot of sense in hindsight if we do dump down from here. The writing was on the wall. So, but again, the bulls are crazy, so I'd be very careful right now. But 16-hour red dot printing, 12-hour red dot printing, 10-hour red dot printing, very similar to a lot of this other stuff. 8-hour red dot printing, 6-hour red dot confirmed, looking almost identical to Bitcoin on Market Cipher. Taking a look at the lower time frames, money flow in the red on the 15-minute, but starting to curve back up, which makes sense because our 4-hour is starting to round off here. 24-minute in the red, 30-minute also in the red, starting to curve back out, right? You were coming up, you were starting to come up, and now you're starting to come back out, right? So that is worth noting. And then, yeah, little bullish side. Oh, hey, you do have a bullish divergence on the 30-minute here, but again, you are just looking like you want to roll back over. So, this is looking very, very similar to a lot of other things. No snake eyes. VWAP looks a little better than it does on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but we did come down to support. So, again, short-term bounce, not impossible. I would be careful. If you can't get above this POC, that's where things may turn a little bit more bearish on Gala. But yeah, essentially you're in the same exact position that we are on a lot of other things, right? And I'm just going to pull a little more local volume up in this little higher range because as you guys can see, we traded down here in this range and then we flipped this resistance to support and now we're trading kind of in this range. So I'm just going to pull this more locally. Yeah, it doesn't really give us that much. Shout out to Dion with the Bears. Let's go. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Joe Voss says, you're really bearish today, man. Yeah. Hey, we might be bullish tomorrow, but I do want to cover or just let everybody know we are bullish in the long term. We're just talking short-term stuff here, right? But actually, shorter term, I do think we'll bounce, right? I think we could get a short-term bounce, but medium term, right? Really looking for this 12-hour red dot, the 16-hour red dot, right? Because these red dots can give us big moves down, right? Even if we're below the 0 line here, you see this red dot on the 16-hour was absolutely no joke. A lot of these red dots in these higher hourly time frames can wind up playing out really bearishly, right? So, and especially when you have money flow coming out, right? So there's a lot of confluence pointing to the downside, right? So we just have to be ready for that. Nomad Dad said Doge asking for a friend. Absolutely. Yeah, I got you, bro. Let's see. All right, let's take a look at XRP. XRP, let's get it. Take another sip of the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. All right. Okay. Here we go. Let's take a look at the Bitstamp XRP chart. I almost said signal. All right, taking a look at the daily. I'm sure this looks almost identical to Bitcoin. VWAP coming up on your daily. Yes, 16-hour red dot printing. 12-hour red dot looking to print very soon. You have 8 minutes for this red dot to print. I can almost guarantee you that red dot will print in about 8 minutes, right? 10-hour red dot also printing. Shout out to DRM Brothers. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for that super chat. He said, hey, bro, can you take a look at Ronin Network? Yes, Rob, if we could add that to the list, that would be awesome. Let's go. Shout out to G-Man in the chat. Shout out to G-Man. What's going on, bro? Representing the 305. Mr. 305. Let's go. Shout out to Bud Lightyear. Let's go, fellas. We got to look at OP. Got to find a good spot to DCA. Let's go. Shout out to Bud Lightyear. All right. Continuing on. Let's see. Yeah, you guys are funny. All right. Taking a look here. Yeah, again, same thing. 10-hour red dot printing, 8-hour red dot printing, 6-hour red dot printing, 5-hour blood diamond confirmed, right? Very similar to Bitcoin. Then coming down to these lower time frames. Let's see. Yeah. So 10-hour. Yeah, 10-hour. What was I going to look at? 8-hour. Yeah. So let's look at that 24-minute money flow in the red, 30-minute money flow. Oh, baby, she's crossing into the red. She was in the green. Now she's back in the red. Interesting. Yeah, I would be careful. These higher hourly red dots, unless we see some VWAP flips, right? Because you guys know, right? Looking at that 16-hour, right? We got a VWAP flop, green dot, red dot. But unless we flip right immediately into a green dot here, money flow is coming out. That is looking more bearish. Nice little rounding curvature right here as well. So, yeah, we would need something like this to continue to the upside, right? We got the green dot, red dot, but now we need an immediate green dot again. So we got green dot, red dot. We need green dot, red dot, green dot. So if we don't get that, which we call a VWAP flip, if we don't get a VWAP flip here, an immediate green dot, this will likely play out to the downside. And, how far to the downside, that's another story. But Let's take a look here. Now, just looking at our range here, I'm going to go ahead and take these levels, guys. I'm actually zoom in a little bit, get a little more accurate. A little boom. Go here. Let's label it value area high. Go ahead and grab it. Bring it down here. Let's make it the POC. Whoops. Make the value area low. Here we go. VAL. Shout out to anybody who doesn't. I know a lot of you guys probably use these levels. If you want to label them, easy way to label. If you double click on your level, you come to text, you could label it here, then click on this drop down menu of template that says template, and then hit save as, and then you can label all your different levels. And then, so yeah, we have value area high. This is the POC, right? So you could just right click, click template, POC. Quick way to label your levels. So there you go. Quick little sauce, baby. Quick little sauce. All right. Let's see. Okay. Again, key level. Key level is going to be these lows, right? Again, like the lows that we made back here. Basically opens up the room for more downside, right? So I would say if you break this level here at about 37 cents, that is really what, come down here, bearish retest, come down here, right? You bing bong around a little bit. And if you break this level, that's where you're probably going to come down to your POC, right? So I'll be honest, actually, really the level you don't want to lose is your value area high. If you lose this value area high, that's where you're likely to get down to your POC. But be careful of one of these, right? You might fake out. You might wick and then stay above that value area high. But if you cannot get back above this value area high, you're likely going to fall through this gap and get a move down to your POC, which is coming in at about 34 cents. And then your value area high is not too far behind at about 33 cents. So these are the levels I really would be watching, at least to the downside. And then to the upside, if you're looking for a break up, and if we are able to get that break up, and again, I forget, someone mentioned that I'm really bearish today, and that is just because of the way the chart looks on those higher hourly time frames. But I will say, I'm not saying we can't get another move up. I just don't think it will really happen until we get that next daily green dot. All right. So continuing on, taking a look at where we could potentially come to the upside, going to go ahead and click on here, hide our value area high, value area low, and POC. And then I am going to pull up our Lux Algo price actions concepts. So here you go. We do have a fair value gap up here at about 45 cents. So if we do get a rip to the upside, one thing you want to realize is that volume falls off, right? Volume falls off at this level. I mean, once we really start cracking 41 cents, once we start cracking these levels here, these highs that we previously made recently in January, right here, I guess even in February too, these most recent highs that we made, once we crack those, that is kind of where I would expect a move up. Because, again, when you come out of your value area, two things can happen. You either stick support on your value area high and you get a big move up to your next area of interest, which we're going to talk about in a second. Hint, hint, if you've been watching the stream recently, we're looking at previous areas of balance. That is what attracts price. These areas of balance create higher volume nodes. This is not a high volume node, I wouldn't call it, but it is a higher volume node, and price is attracted to high volume nodes, right? So right now, technically, price would more likely be attracted to this high volume node or this high volume node, but if we push up, you're going to push into this low volume gap, especially once you break these highs that we made right up here, right here. Once we break those levels to the upside, trying to get a straight line there. Once we break this level, not much volume up until the volume picks back up here at about 45 cents. And it does line up perfectly with this fair value gap. So we might go fill that fair value gap, even if we are going to continue to the downside, right? So this fair value gap right here is something I would keep an eye on. And then again, like I'm saying, price hunting out, previous areas of balance, boom, right? This is why I am looking at this like this, right? Because again, if you come into this low volume gap, you're going to hunt out the next area of interest or the next area of balance. You're going to fly through the low volume gap. And then once you start flipping this level to support, that is where you may start to range back in your previous area of balance, which is right here, right? You have your value area high at 49 cents, almost 50 cents. your POC coming in at about 46 cents, and then you have your value area low coming in at 44 cents, right? So once you flip that value area low, it gives you a chance to potentially come back up and trade in this area of balance, right? And again, the reason we know that is because we had balance here, and when price leaves one value area, which is right here, this is a value area. Once you leave that value area, you will hunt out the next one, and that next one will likely be coming up to that previous area of consolidation. And now I'm just drawing random lines on the chart. Bing bong, up, down, bullish, bearish, up, down. We lost a trade, we won a trade. Bing bong, whee! I'm just kidding, guys. I'm losing my mind. But there you go, guys. That is how I'm thinking or how I'm feeling about XRP. Again, watch that fair value gap coming in at about 45 cents. All right, let's see. Jessica says everything is going down. Oh, we on the charts. It's going down. We in a long. It's going down. We got liquidated. My confidence is going down. I don't know, guys. I don't know why I'm like this. I was born like this. You can't hate on me. I'm sorry. I can't change. I wish I could. All right, new day in 45 seconds. Let's go. Are we going to get those Ethereum red dots? Let's see if we were able to call that. Or are we going to be proven wrong in 18 seconds? Let's let it play. Let's let it print, guys. And then we're going to take a look at Ronin, and then we'll take a look at Sheeb, something we don't usually look at. The scribbles is what I'm here for. Shout out to Michael Campton. I appreciate you, bro. Let's go. We are kings of chart, and that is chart art, by the way. All right, let's see. Here we go. Printing that new candle. Are we going to get the red dot? Are we going to get the red dot? Are we going to get the red dot? It's taking a minute here. I don't know what's going on. Did the candle print? What happened? I was pretty confident about that. Okay. No red dot, guys. I don't know what happened. Did we even print? I don't even know if we printed a candle. Oh, this is the 1 hour. What are we doing? We wanted to look at the 16 hour. Oh, she's so close. She's so close. Now she's sitting right. Oh, there it is, baby. Live on stream. There's the red dot, baby. Send it to Goblin Town. Let's go. Shout out to the CandleMafia. Scribble it, Frankie. That's right. Dang right, baby. There's that red dot. Did we get it on the 12 hour? We probably did. There it is. And yeah. There you go. Also, like, not like the craziest prediction, guys. Just so you know, I'm not like pretending like we predicted the price. It's just a red dot, not a big deal. But we did know that was gonna pop up, so there it is. But yeah. And then there you go. Just to add insult or confusion to more confusion, VWAP looking to rip back to the upside. Be very careful out there, guys. It is choppy, guys. Yeah. Red dot confirms on the 10 hour, and boom, VWAP flips right back to the upside. But too soon to tell. This could easily come back down. We're not in a bull market. This is still a bear market until the Fed stops hiking rates and pivots. Yeah, Drew Berry. I can't really argue with that, man. I can't argue with that. Let's see. We have to have a large pullback after a large rally to prime for the new bull market. JP, again. Can't argue with that, man. I just can't. I can't. Frankie is a psychic. Let's go, beardrepreneur. You know what? I'm not. I'm not a big beard haver. I might be able to predict the future. I might have a crystal ball, but I'll never have that bushy beard. Who knows? Maybe the next bull market I'll have enough money to just get some expensive surgery to get myself a big beard. And then I probably won't like it and shave it off. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. That is what did we just look at? That was, I don't even remember. Were we looking at XRP? I think it was XRP. Come on. Yeah, XRP. So there you go, guys. Again, fair value gap sitting at that 45-cent level. That is what I would watch to the upside. And now you guys have the levels to the downside. And again, you guys know because of the higher hourly time frame red dots, I will lean a little bit short or a little bit more bearish in the short term. Let's see. You want cheaper BTC, chat? Okay, we go higher then. That's kind of how it works, to be honest. It's actually the number one thing that the number one reason why I would actually guess that price will pop. It's because I personally want it to dump. So that just makes me think that it'll probably move up. But yeah, again, the charts are pointing to the downside in the medium term. So just to be clear, the price does not care what I want, realistically. So all right, let's see. Bada boom. Okay, let's see. People with the eggs, guys, you guys are funny, man. You guys are funny. All right, let's see. Taking a look at Ron. Let's take a look at Ron. Shout out to, I forget who super chatted that, but shout out to you. I do appreciate it. That's Rot. We don't want to look at Rot. We want to look at Ron. Ronin Tether, OKX. Shout out to OKX. Yeah, I guess. Who do we want to look at? I guess we'll look at OKX. Oh my God, what is this? What is this? Oh God. Let's see. Creighton says, "Boo! Red dots suck. Nobody likes them." Let's go. Shout out to Creighton. Let's go. All right. But yeah, this thing's on an absolute tear. Oh God, what is this? I don't even know what this is. Boom, up 342%. Is this an AI token? Oh God, what is this? Hang on, guys. Let me look this up real quick. But let's take a look here. On the daily, let's see, 16-hour. Yeah, looking for the red dot on the 16-hour. 12-hour also. I mean, you're thick in the green with the money flow here. But let's go ahead and look it up. Let's see what this is. Yeah, Ronin. All right. I don't know why my internet's being so slow. Market cap is 171 million. Okay. Ronin is an EVM-based blockchain for play-to-earn games. Interesting. The most popular game built on Ronin is Axie. Okay, I gotcha. All right. So, yeah, massive run here. Up 300 and something percent. So just, I mean, be cautious of that. Nothing goes up forever. So just right off the bat, be very careful, going long on this. Not saying it can't pump more. I'm just saying be careful. You've come up a lot. So, if it pulls back, it would not be that crazy, right? But this level right here, I'm going to just go ahead and mark this out. I can just see it with my eyes. Previous weekly low, into this high volume node. This is going to be key support. Because if you lose that, I mean, you really start to get some serious volume fall off. You got a gap here down to this low volume gap, no pun intended. So watch that low volume. You have the low volume gap all the way down to your fair value gap, and then you have like another somewhat of a gap down to these fair value gaps. But I would go ahead, and these are the two main levels I'd be watching. Let's go ahead and pull a little bit of a Fibonacci, pulling a fib. Let's go. Shout out to Alex. But yeah, I mean, I would say just in general, I would say this is the main level I'd be watching, this blue box. You have your previous weekly low, fair value gap. So if you do come down, don't be surprised if you wick in here to fill that gap. But going to be strong support here. If you lose this, that's where, most of your volume kind of falls off, right? You'll fall through here, fill that low volume gap, or fill this fair value gap. If you don't get an aggressive bounce off that level and you break down, you could potentially start really working your way back down to these higher volume nodes down here. Just in general, guys, price is going to hunt out the area of most volume for the most part, not always, but right now the highest volume node, if we don't, we would likely trade and range up here, sticking to this high volume node. But again, if we lose this level and fall into this lower volume area, we will likely fall down and start revisiting these lower levels down here. So most immediate levels of support, again, going to be here at about, bottom of the blue box coming in at 71 cents, almost 72 cents, and then 75 cents at the top of the box. So that's going to be your immediate level of support. If you break down through there, look for the volume gap to drop you down pretty quickly to fill that low fair value gap down here at about 61 cents. And then that is where you're hoping to get a big bounce up. And if you don't, I do think you will likely see some lower prices for Ronin. Now, VWAP on the 12-hour coming down, 16-hour also coming down. Looking very similar to Bitcoin. Looking for these red dots over here. Again, daily VWAP, it has crossed over, right? You got the green dot on the daily. Question is that VWAP flopping? Are you going to get a red dot here maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day? If you do, I'd be careful of a potential bearish divergence on the daily, and that might be the start of your move to the downside, right? That might be the start of your cool-off. So looking for maybe your momentum wave to push you up a little bit higher, come and make a higher low, giving you your diagonally downward slanting trend line on your momentum wave with your price moving up. And then just to take a look a little bit more zoomed out here, one thing to realize is, very similar to a lot of other things, you do have somewhat of a gap above you as well, right? So we're kind of at this weird moment where a lot of these coins, a lot of the alts are kind of balancing on a high volume node where it's like if they break a level to the downside, they're going to free fall at least a little bit. And if they break the level to the upside, they're going to rip, right? So that's kind of another reason why I've been saying that we're kind of in a dicey area, right? Because right now the charts look in the medium term like they want to correct, right? And that's just a fact. It doesn't mean that it's 100% going to play out, but that's a fact. That information's on the chart, right? So, but if we don't break that level to that low volume gap and we push up a little bit on a retrace and we crack into that low volume gap, it might fly, right? So just really, really dicey trading here. But yeah, so, if we crack the highs that we made up here at about $1.24, $1.12, you may, your next real high volume node is up here at about $1.80. Now, that is pretty far away, so I'm not calling for $1.80 just yet, but that is technically your next high volume node. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pull a little bit of a Fibonacci from this high up here, and we're going to pull it all the way to the bottom, and then we're going to go ahead and find another high. Actually, no. Yeah, I mean, that is, if you do get another push up, some levels I would watch, it's going to be right here at about $1.20. That's a big level to watch, and it would make a lot of sense if you did get a move up there. If you got a push up here, right, boom, that's where you get your higher high with your lower high in your daily. On the momentum waves, it gives you that bearish divergence, and then you get a correction to the downside. Shout out to Clint Query. Clint Query in the chat. What is going on, bro? He wants to see Algo. We could definitely take a look at Algo, no problem. Hey, Peebo in the chat. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here, guys. We got 756 people still watching this live stream. Go ahead, and if you have not already, smash that like button. Tap it, smack it, creepily fondle it. I don't care what you do. Lick it, click it, rub it, headbutt it. I don't care. Smash that like button, guys. We're going for 800 likes. If we get 800 likes, we're spinning the wheel 20 times. You guys are getting a bunch of crypto, and maybe we'll even give away a CandleMafia crew neck. Let's get it. All right. So that is what I would be looking for on Ronin. And, yeah, again, looking for that daily bearish divergence. But green dot confirmed, VWAP flopping, but we'll see if you can push up a little bit higher. But now you guys have the levels to watch. And, again, that previous weekly high would be a nice place to reject. If you really start ripping next major levels of resistance, and I mean major levels, not just, you do have some other levels above you, but the next major level is going to be that golden pocket at about $1.50. That's likely, where you would find your next level of resistance. A little bada boom right there. Okay. Shout out to Clinton Query, man. Thank you so much for that super chat. Let's see. Blockchain Planet, shout out to you, man. Says, I'm bing bonging in the shower, Frankie. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Hey, it's your shower. You do whatever you want in that shower, baby. Let's get it. Let's see. Shout out to CSA Elite. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Let's see. Frankie Yoshi Nakamoto says, Frankie makes TA look easy. I'll tell you this. I'll let you in on a secret. In trading, I'm not saying TA is easy. I'm not saying TA easy. I'm not saying TA is easy to understand at first. I'm not saying it's easy to get good at. I'm not saying it's easy to master. But I will tell you this. When looking at trading as a whole, TA is one of the easier parts. Again, not saying it's easy. I don't want people to think like, oh, this guy's, it's not easy, right? But compared to controlling the emotions, compared to the risk management, compared to avoiding the greed, compared to sticking to your strategy, compared to having the discipline to not revenge trade, compared to all that stuff, guys, the TA is really the easy part, right? When compared to that other stuff. So shout out to you, man. I appreciate that compliment. I take it as a compliment because, again, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand technical analysis. You don't even need to be a rocket scientist to be good at technical analysis. It just takes practice. The more you stare at the chart, the more you'll understand it. I was talking to the Crypto Lifer about this today. He was saying, people ask me what my favorite time frame is or what the best time frame is, and he had a good answer. He said, it's whatever you like, right? Whatever works for you. If TradingView took all the time frames away, except for the 26 minute, and all I had to look at was the 26 minute, once I spend time on it and I obsess over it and I look at it for long enough, I'm going to know that 26 minute like the back of my hand, and I won't even need any other time frames, right? So it's just really about sticking with it, not getting not getting discouraged because trading is a game where, 99% of the people have to learn through hard mistakes. And 99% of those 99% of people don't stick around after making those big mistakes. But if you can learn from it, have the discipline to actually learn from the mistakes and act against them so you don't make them again, then and as long as you don't get discouraged, right? Even if you don't learn from your mistakes, if you don't get discouraged and you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, eventually you'll get that breakthrough. And sometimes that breakthrough is different for everybody, right? For me, the breakthrough was fighting that greed. Greed was hard for me. And you'll hear me talk about this on Lifer's show later at 8:30 tonight. Greed was hard for me. That was one of the hardest things I had to learn. TA, I'm a visual guy, right? So when I look at the charts, it just kind of clicks with me. The patterns, divergences, like all this stuff just kind of clicks from my brain. But you know what didn't click? Controlling the emotions, controlling the greed, moving my stop loss down and moving my take profit up to squeeze an extra $20 out of it, to squeeze an extra 100. Oh, I can get another $100 out of this trade. And then I can't tell you how many of those trades when I first started learning and first started trading, how many of those trades that I was in the green. I wasn't a bad, I'm sure I was a horrible trader if I look back at it now. But, I wasn't that bad, right? I got into a lot of winning trades, but I wound up wrecking myself because they would go to my profit target and I'd be like, oh no, that's only 30%. I could squeeze this for more. I'm a genius. And then I'd move the take profit up. I wouldn't take any profit, and we get a retrace, and I'd be like, oh, nice. I'm going to add to the position. It goes down. I still haven't paid myself. Keep that in mind. Oh, it'll go back up, drops a little bit more, and then it gets a little bounce. Oh, it's going back up. And then it goes and makes a lower low, and I'm like, oh, God, it's not going to come back. And then you get stopped out or liquidated, and worse, I would have my stop loss set. I had the right idea, but as price would come down, I would just drag that stop loss down, with price and just wind up wrecking myself. So that greed was really hard for me. But for you, it might be not being able to see the patterns or not being able to see the divergences. Or for you, it might be that you take profit too early. So you're only making like $1 on every trade, which is better than losing money. But, so it's different for everybody. So just understand that. And it's part of your trading journey to, go in, get your hands dirty, make those mistakes, and learn from them. That's why I always recommend you guys start with paper trading and then move into spot trading. And then when you're ready and you know what you're doing, you can go ahead and throw some leverage on it. So there you go. Boom. Leave your emotions at the door. Absolutely. Wolfman ate my coins. That was for Wolfman ate my coins, guys. I was speaking to you. He said, I feel like he's talking right to me. It is. Shout out to you, Wolf. I got you, bro. Just understand. But let's see. I hope Revenge Boy isn't trying too hard to recover his bad trade. Shout out to Peebo. All right, yeah. Just a couple super chats before we jump back into the alts, guys. DRM brother said, "You're the man, brother. Bullish on Ronin. Use case for gaming for the long term. It's not only for Axie Infinity. It's a great project. Appreciate your TA." Hey, shout out to DRM brothers. And yeah, man. I mean, looks like it's looks like it's doing pretty good right now. So there you go. Now you have the levels to watch. Shout out to George Marin. Thank you so much for the super chat. Said, can you take a look at YFI? What you think about it? Yes, absolutely, George. No problem. We got you. I'm the exact same way with that. It is the biggest hurdle to overcome. Absolutely. Shout out to Jonathan Schaefer. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Sheeb. Shout out to the Sheeb Army. Let's go. Yeah, see, well, that's the thing. Tala says, you're telling my story or you're telling my situation. Yeah. And the reason for that is because I was in your shoes, right? Like I went through what you went through. So like, that's why I know this stuff is because I got wrecked too, guys. When I first started, I was not just instantly a great trader, right? I got wrecked. And me personally, I'm the guy that's got to touch the hot stove 500 times before I learn my lesson. So, trust me, I learned my lessons hard. So yeah, but luckily I'm thick-headed, so I never gave up. And it wasn't because, it was because I'm like, no. I'm going to win this, not you trading. I'm going to get you. You're not going to get me. And I just didn't give up, and I kept getting wrecked. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and let the stop loss and the take profit ride. And I'm not going to touch it. It was the best thing I ever did. All right, continuing on here. Let's get it. A little bit of a tangent there. Shout out to the Bing Bong crew, the Bing Bong Brigade. It's been a long day, guys. It's been a long day. Tony D started full-time officially today, guys. So get ready for this YouTube channel to get an absolute launch in 2023, guys. Tony D is officially full-time. Let's get it. We already had a meeting. My brain is already free. I already feel the productivity increasing. It's insane. So yeah, big things to come for the channel, guys. All right, let's continue on here. Made the live bing bong. Let's go. Shout out to Leroy Jenkins, or as I like to call him, Leroy Bing Bong. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Taking a look at Shiba Inu here. Now, we are trading in a sideways range for the most part, right? So go ahead and pull some volume on it. And there you go, right? Very similar situation to a lot of the other coins that we've been looking at. Basically just sitting right near our value area high, which leaves us with the question of what is going to happen at that value area high. Are we going to catch a little bit of support on it, get a move to the upside potentially to come revisit those highs from over there, or are we going to break down, bearishly retest, and start trading within our range once again? And that is a question that nobody can answer, right? But we can take a look at our technical analysis, take a look at the indicators, and make an educated guess, right? We can put the probability in our favor. And that is really all trading is about. So let's see. Daily red dot confirmed. VWAP starting to curve up, but way too early to tell anything. Shout out to Connor, said, Frankie, you need your own coin so I could be bullish on it. Hey, a little candle coin, or maybe candle coin, or I don't know, maybe fib coin, maybe pull your fib coin. I don't know. Shout out to Connor. We're gonna have to do it, man. We're gonna have to do it. Shout out to you, bro. Okay. Shout out to Lost Profit. We see you, bro. We got your late pass. Don't you worry. But yeah, we're kind of just stuck in the same spot, right? Key level here is going to be that value area high. And again, this is going to be the decision point. Are we going to hold the value area high, get that bounce, or are we going to break in to the value area, get accepted back into the balance, and just bing bong between our value area low, value area high? That is the question, but we can go to Market Cipher. We can go to the BitLab Trading Suite. We can go to Lux Algo to try to get an idea. Calf Coin. There it is, Brad. Shout out to Brad Geidel. That's it. Calf Coin coming to a 7-Eleven near you. We'll also be in Wawa very, very soon, guys. I don't know what I'm saying. But, you do have your red dot confirmed on the daily. A little bit of a bearish look. 2-day looking for the red dot very, very soon here. No bearish divergence technically. 3-day looking for the red dot. 5-day also. And, yeah, all these higher time frames are looking for a bit of a red dot here. Looking at your 12-hour. VWAP below the 0 line. 8-hour. Money flow looks generally bearish, I would say. 4-hour looking for the green dot. 2-hour printing the green dot. Money flow looking bearish. Now, when you have a green dot printing, especially a double green dot, this is typically a decent local bottom signal. However, the fact that money flow is about to cross over into the red below that 0 line, I am taking that with a grain of salt, and I would expect this green dot to be more of a retrace, maybe to go fill that fair value gap right there. You have to remember, price does like to go fill those fair value gaps and give balance back to the market before continuing in a trend, right? You could see it basically happened right here. Price came down, price came back up, came up to that fair value gap before coming down and making a lower low, and then we created another fair value gap. We may come close that and then come back down to make a lower low, right? Continuing that downtrend, right? Which could potentially be a bull flag to the upside. So that would be your bullish case, right? You kind of just bull flag out, and then you hit your value area high, stick it as support, and get that move to the upside. However, it's not until we break down below the value area high that I start to feel bearish. So, generally money flow is looking a bit bearish, so I would expect more of a retrace before another lower low. So there you go. There's SHIB. 2-hour money flow is looking bearish. Your 1-hour money flow is in the red. 3-hour money flow is kind of flat, but your 4 hours coming out looking to cross over into the red as well. I'd be cautious of a retrace before I move back to the downside. So key level going to be right here at about 4 or 5 zeros. I can't really see. It's very small. I think 4 zeros, 1 3 is going to be that key level of support on SHIB. So there you go. A little sauce on SHIB. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Let's go. Sorry I'm late. I'm at work. Shout out to Captain. Hey, guys, our mods also have lives. So just shout out to Captain Kirk. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. But let's go. Painter saying calf coin to the moon. Hey, that's what they're saying. FCM coin. Let's go. WT. With that being said, coin, WTBSC. With that being said, coin. Shout out to Connor Anderson. Let's get it. Tyler Rayburn says, Frankie, I watch every night. Can we get Can we please take a super quick look at Adam and GRT? Let's see. Tonight's battle is Cactus Water versus the Lemon Water. Well, joke's on you. I got both. Didn't think I was going to do that, huh? We got the Lemon Water, which also, this particular Lemon Water is a scam, guys. Mrs. Candles got this for me because she thought it'd be healthy. She said, hey, dude, you don't sleep or eat. All you do is sit on your computer, so be healthy. So she got me this, and then I drank it, and it tastes like Minute Maid, so there's no way it's healthy. But, hey, it tastes good. And when you're drinking this stuff, you need all the good tasting stuff you can get because this does not taste good. Anyway, continuing on, we got OP and FIL, and then I forget who asked. Someone asked for GRT and Adam. Who was it? It was like an OG. Who was it? I'm shot. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah, Tyler Rayburn. I will try. I'm going to run through these pretty quickly, and then I will go over Adam and GRT very, very quickly. Actually, talk about Adam with Lifer tonight. Again, guys, if you want to see me on Lifer's channel tonight at 8:30, it will be uploaded to his channel. So definitely go check that out. Swig. Water Swig. Let's go, guys. We have the Water Police in the chat. Shout out to Water Swig. Shout out to Dark Crash. And I don't mean that in a bad way. We need the Water Police, or at least I personally do. And I appreciate that. So let's get it. All right. Taking a look at OP. OP's like, God. Oh, God, guys. I'll say this. I have a confession, guys. We got someone in the office. His name is Johnny. He's the man. I love Johnny. I'll tell you this. Johnny, if you're watching this, bro, shout out to you. Johnny was earlier than anybody I know to OP. And he was telling me, bro, check out OP. And I was just in bear market mode. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to go buy a new alt in the middle of a bear market. I think we have lower to go. And this was like, we were not, we didn't come, we still had more room to come down. And I was like, dude, I'm not buying an alt. And I don't know where he was telling me. I don't know where he was talking about it. It was probably right down here that he was talking about it. I never bought it. I was like, it's a bear market. I'm not buying this alt. And God, should I have listened to Johnny? Shout out to Johnny. All right, let's continue on here, guys. So just straight off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and mark these levels here. Previous weekly low, previous weekly high. Would be nice. Oh, there we go. Oh. All right, I'm actually going to clear this, guys. I'm going to clear this. All right, now I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the previous weekly high. Boom, I'm going to take the previous weekly low. I'm going to take this fair value gap. I'm going to take this fair value gap, right? Boom. So these are the levels I would be aware of, at least on the daily. If we dump down, which we are getting a little bit of a red candle here. If we do come down, it would be nice to kind of work our way down, fill that fair value gap before continuing higher, potentially. We also have the fair value gap down here at $1.79. That would be another level to watch. Your weekly low or your previous weekly low is coming in at about $2.01, and then that other fair value gap coming in at about $2.30. So these are the major levels to the downside that I would be looking at right now for OP if we do get a big move to the downside. And then we'll go ahead and look at some local levels. So just more macro, these are the levels I would be looking at. Wouldn't be horribly unlikely to come down and fill these low fair value gaps before continuing up. And again, looking for a bounce on this level. Not only would you fill the fair value gap, but you are coming down to the high volume node. So that would be that would make a decent level to get a bounce from. If you lose this level, volume opens back up, right? You got a little bounce on the previous weekly low potentially. But again, that next level of real volume does not come in until this fair value gap down here at about $1.79. So major levels to the downside on the higher time frames that I would be watching are going to be these three major levels. And then to the upside, major resistance coming in at 323. Looking at your 16-hour. 16-hour VWAP below the zero line, money flow smoothly coming out. Taking a look at the 12-hour, same deal. Red dot confirmed, money flow coming out. Taking a look at the 10-hour, VWAP curving back up. 8-hour VWAP also coming back up. Taking a look at your 4-hour, looking for the green dot on your 4-hour. Getting very close. Taking a look at the 2-hour, green dot printing. Green dot printing on that 2-hour, money flow in the red. So again, being careful with that green dot because once you cross back over, you may get dragged further on into the red. But let's see. Let's pull some local volume on this little range we have right here locally. And let's come down to the 15-minute. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, so there we go, guys. This is the local. These are the local, actually, I'll pull this a little lower. I'll pull this to this range down here. So this is the local level that I would watch, right? Or the local levels. If we continue to bounce, I would look for a potential retest of this value area low, but I don't know if you're actually going to get it. Now, guys, we talk about this all the time. When you break below your value area low, you will know that this is likely where you will get sucked back into the value area. If you come out of your value area and you don't bring a lot of new volume in on your profile, it's likely you'll get sucked back to the POC. You nailed it right there, right? Then you bounce around, you come out again, and just like you would suspect, you get a pull back into the POC and even your value area high. So anytime you come out of your value area, it's likely you'll get sucked back in because this is the fair price for Bitcoin, right? So again, once you come in, you're expecting to get pulled back up, right? What is this? What is going on here, guys? Oh, God. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what that was. Anyway, when you get pulled out, if you don't get rejected at that value area low, or if you do start to get rejected at that value area low, this is where you're thinking, hey, maybe we're actually going to lose this range, for the time being and come down to lower prices. And it's the breakdown, the retest, and the confirmation of that yellow X that gives you the confidence that this is actually going to come down. So what I would do here is I would pull a fib from your highs up here all the way to your lows down here. And boom, there you go. I would look for the golden pocket /786 retest again because we already had the bearish retest of the value area low. So we may not test it again, but we may come up and test the 786 /golden pocket to make a lower high before making a lower low, right? So you have a low, lower low, you have low, lower low, lower low, or high, low, high, lower low, higher low, low. This always tongue-ties me. Low, high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? So that would be creating your downtrend. So there you go, guys. That is kind of how I'm feeling on OP, just looking to potentially on a local level, lose that range to the downside. And again, now you know the major levels to the, again, big gap here, right? Once we start losing these levels, big gap all the way down to that first major level on the higher time frame, like the daily. And again, that's where you have the fair value gap at about, boom, at about $2.29 or $2.30. So there you go. There's a little bit of OP sauce. How long have we been going for right now? Hour 51. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Filecoin. Take a quick look. I'm going to run through this so we can take a look at GRT and Atom. Let's see. Okay. All right. Taking a quick look. And then also really quick, guys, I know I'm kind of going all over the place here, but I do just want to show you, another thing here on the 5 hour for Bitcoin. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the price actions concept. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to turn on the Lux Algo Premium indicator right here. One thing I do want to show you guys is, where is it? This is the 5 hour. What chart are we on? Let's come to this one. Okay. Come on, Lux. There. Boom. Oh, do I have custom settings on here? Okay. Well, we did actually, is it autopilot? Bear with me, guys. Give me 1 sec here. Come on. Okay. There we go. Bada boom. Bada boom, bada boom. Okay, is that going to fix it? Let's see. Boom, there you go. Okay, well, it actually went away. I was going to say, I was looking earlier today, and we actually did have, on top of our blood diamond, we did actually have a strong sell signal on Lux Algo, which is a pretty reliable sell signal. You see we got one here before continuing to the downside. We had a blood diamond as well as a strong sell signal confirming right after the blood diamond with our candle coloring turning red, which is an indication of more downside. But that actually has gone away, so it might be good news for a small move to the upside. But again, next move to the upside, I'd watch that 4 hour. But again, to get a big move up on Bitcoin, looking for that daily green dot, and we are rejecting from that zero line currently. So, all right, let's go back to Filecoin real quick. Bada boom, bada boom. Okay, boom. Thank you, Rob, for being on point. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Going to remove all the drawings here. And I'm just going to find you, Look at that VWAP on the daily, lackluster. That looks like it wants to flop. Not the strongest VWAP crossover into the green. So not the strongest green dot here on the daily. Looking at your 16-hour, looking for the red dot, money flow coming out. This is looking very similar to a lot of other things. And again, just like a lot of these other things, 10-hour just adding confusion with a red dot. Now the VWAP's coming up. It's a mess out there right now, guys, so be careful. But the one thing that is clear is money flow is coming out. So I'm just going to find you some levels here on Filecoin real quick. Go ahead and pull the range. Some local levels to watch here on Filecoin will be right here. We're kind of in the middle of the range right now. So let me go ahead and get rid of the volume. Yeah, so we are kind of in the middle of the range here. We are above the POC, so right now, due to the laws of the volume profile, you'd expect, as long as you hold support on the POC, that you will move up to your value area high, which is coming in at about $5.61. And then once you lose that POC, looking down to the value area low at about $5.20, and you basically have a fair value gap here, a fair value gap here, so you may just kind of range around. But as of right now for Filecoin, I would just be watching this sideways range. And then that 4-hour green dot is likely going to be the next time that you potentially come up to revisit your value area high. So more locally, guys, that 4-hour green dot is going to be that next thing that gives you somewhat of a short-term move to the upside. And then that next big move up is likely going to happen with the daily green dot, but we have to see what the 12 and the 16-hour bearish signals give us first. So there you go. Kind of quick on what is this? Filecoin. A little bit quick on that, but also previous weekly high coming in at $5.87. Previous weekly low, $4.85. Another decent level to look at. You can see we held these levels, we held this level here. So yeah, just be ready for these levels down here as well. So you have your little range in the middle. If you deviate from your value area, if you come out, break your value area high, flip it to support, that might be a good level to get a rejection. Same way to the downside. If you break your value area low and you deviate from your value area range, you may come back down to visit that previous weekly low coming in at about $4.85. And now let's do some speed analysis on Atom. Gonna fly through this, guys. We are way behind. All right, let's see. Take a look at the Coinbase chart. If this looks, there you go. 4-hour green dot is printing. Atom front-running the rest of the market on these 4-hour green dots. Taking a look at the daily. Daily, green dot. I mean, this looks just like Filecoin. VWAP flopping over. Money flow, clean. Money flow is thick in the green on the daily. That doesn't look too horrible. But if this VWAP flops tomorrow and we don't really come higher, it would be more bearish in my opinion. But money flow, thick in the green. Not looking too bad for Atom. Money flow coming out on your 16-hour. Red dot looking to print. This just looks like it's basically lagging behind Bitcoin just a little bit. 12-hour VWAP crossing to the downside. Money flow coming out. Careful of that 12-hour bearish divergence. You can see you have your lower highs on momentum, your higher highs on price. Maybe you come up, test that weekly high. Maybe you wick above it. That gives you your higher high on price. Momentum comes down like this. That's a nice little bearish divergence. You could rip that thing down, short it, potentially. Fair value gap here on the 12-hour at about $13.77 may be a point of interest. Price may go hunt out that gap to fill it before working its way back up. So there you go. Coming down, same thing, guys. A lot of this stuff looks very similar. Just kind of pulling a range on this right here. Boom. There you go. Yeah, coming out of your value area high, getting a little bit of a liquidity grab signal here with that red box on the wick. For anybody out there using Lux Algo, this indicates liquidity being grabbed and typically results in an opposite move, right? You could see, liquidity being grabbed on the downside here with that blue box. It grabs the liquidity, and then it reverses to the upside. Even here, you get a little liquidity grab right here, and then it reverses right to the downside. So a lot of times when you see those liquidity grabs, it does indicate either a reversal or a reversal incoming. It's basically a reversal signal, right? Trying to find another good example. Let's see. Yeah, like right here, you can see grabs liquidity this way, comes down, grabs it that way, and then you come up, right? So yeah, obviously not 100%, but you can see we got a little liquidity grab right here, and then we got another candle, and then a big downtrend. So just be aware of that. Is if you have Lux Algo Premium, that is what you're looking at with these squares, right? So coming out of your value, again, just kind of testing that value area high. Looking for a potential move up here, but again, 24-minute looking to cross over, give us a red dot. 1 hour, 1 hour money flow coming up, kind of mixed signals. You may continue to range here, but again, looking at your 12 and 16-hour VWAPs cooling off and money flow coming out, you may just continue to range here, guys. It might just be a little bit of a boring month for Bitcoin, but we'll see. But yeah. Flat Smack says Bears wrecked 2023. Definitely seems to be the vibe right now. Seems to be the vibe so far. Let's see. GRT. Let's see. They say GRT is looking really good. Let's see. Daily is printing a red dot, right? Daily. I would say GRT has done really good. Or has looked really good, right? Big move to the upside. Daily red dot printing. Looking like it might want to cool off a little bit here. Taking a look at your 16-hour, red dot confirmed. Money flow thick, right? Even on the daily here. You got the daily red dot, but money flow is still pretty thick. Taking a look at your 8-hour. Let's see. Yeah, 4-hour looking at maybe. Ooh, baby. I see what you're talking about now. I'd be careful. I'd be careful of that daily red dot. I personally, not saying you can't come up here. I personally will not be long in this, at least right now, because that daily red dot might cool you off. But you might get a short-term bounce here. 2-hour looking for the green dot. 3-hour also, curving up with the VWAP. Your 1 hour is probably printing a green dot. Yeah, the higher time frames, guys, it's the daily red dot, right? It's unless you get a VWAP flip here where you got an immediate green dot on the next daily close, this is likely going to cool you off. Maybe you come down to this fair value gap at about 14 cents. Maybe you come down and fill that. It would make a lot of sense because you also would be coming to retest this structural high that you made right here. So maybe you come a little bing and then a little bong, right? Or maybe you kind of come in here and you make a little bit of a macro. Like I said, if the rest of February is going to look boring, maybe you just kind of get a little bit of consolidation and you just kind of bing bong around, creating a macro bear flag on the daily, and then you get a massive breakout to the upside, which would likely target these lows down here at about 30 cents, right? So let's see. Where would your technical measured move? Yeah, I mean, it depends on where you pull the measured move from, but maybe it rips you up to this level here, previous area consolidation. You probably have a previous POC in this level. Let's go ahead and pull the volume. Yeah, POC right here. Yeah, look at that measured. Whoops, that measured move will bring you right to that POC potentially. Very speculative stuff right there, though, just so you guys know. That's not like that's very speculative. But yeah, pretty important level to the downside would be that 14-cent level, that fair value gap. Yellow X on the 15-minute. Little scam pump, maybe ready to dump here a little bit. Key level to the downside, pulling up that VPVR. I would say pulling up where that, I was going to say, these lows right here are going to be essentially your key level, right? If you lose this level, let's go ahead and make it key. Well, I guess I can't label it key. But, if we lose this level, likely going to break into the low volume gap and make a move all the way down to potentially this level here at about 14 cents. Again, that fair value gap. So there you go, guys. Quick and dirty on GRT. Sorry I had to fly through that one. And Rob the Crypto Snob says, hey, time to go ahead and spin that wheel of pain and pleasure. Let's go ahead and get it, guys. Shout out to everybody in chat, guys. We still got 561 people in here, 677 likes. We were unable to get our 800 like goal met. So we're going to go ahead and spin that wheel 6 times. Let's see if we can run it up to 700 likes before I'm done spinning that wheel. Let's go ahead and pop it up. Here we go. Spin numero uno. We went over today, didn't we? Sometimes you got to spit the sauce, guys. Sometimes you got to spit that sauce. You know what I'm saying? Spit the sauce. All right, let's see. Chemistry Bro said, my new 3D printer is so loud. What kind of 3D printer do you have? Let me know. Is it a Prusa? Shout out to Prusa. See if we could summon Tony D. Tony D hears Prusa, and he's like, huh? Prusa? Let me know. Let me know what kind of 3D printer that is. Chem Bro, what do you got? Is it an Ender? Is it a Prusa? Is it a MakerBot? What is it? Let me know. You didn't know I was a 3D printer, did you? I am a 3D printer. I 3D print candles only, though. I apologize. Guys, we also got a new candle in the family here, guys. We got the Woodwick cashmere because we fancy like that, guys. We fancy like that. We fancy like Applebee's on a Friday night. Just when you thought I couldn't make a cornier joke. There you go. Shout out to country music. All right, let's go, guys. Spin number 2, 3? Spin number 2, I think. Let's see. Guys, close your eyes and think Google is more interested in cryptocurrencies than fiat currencies. You see their motives with yesterday's launch. Shout out to Karaoke Asia. Shout out to you. Let's see. Continuing on, here we go. I got a new one. It's the Anycubic Mono 6K. It's a UV resin. Oh, it's a resin printer. Okay. Though not a filament one. Oh, shout out to Chemistry Bro. Chemistry Bro messing around with the resin filters, the resin printers. Let's go, bro. That's savage. That Funko Pop that I showed on the stream that Mrs. Candles got me for my birthday, for Christmas, that is actually 3D printed, and I will say, one of the cleanest 3D prints I've ever seen in my life. Like really, really impressive. I don't know what kind of, it must have been resin printed. I can't imagine there was no layering. So I assume it was resin. I guess Tony D's just not. Tony D's sleeping at the wheel right now. Unbelievable. His first day sleeping on the job, guys. Unbelievable. Somebody locked this guy up. Somebody called the cops on this guy. We're talking about 3D printers. He doesn't even show face. Unbelievable. Let's see. Spin number 7. Here we go. I'll give it to you. We're at 693 likes, guys. I think we can hit that. Let's try to rip it to 800 before the stream actually ends. Let's go. Bada boom. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh my God. Wrecked on the wheel today. This is like some of the worst performance we had on this wheel. Yeah, 2 giveaways. That's a bad hit rate compared to what we are used to on this channel. So 2 giveaways for tonight. But hey, we got a lot of giveaways yesterday, so we're good, guys. And with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time I got for tonight's stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in. We still got 500 people in here. Thank you for 695 likes. Let's smash that like button on your way out. Don't forget, guys, check out me and Lifer's, or my interview with Lifer. Is it his interview or my interview? If I was the one getting interviewed, is it my interview or his interview? Because, like, he's the one answering the questions, but I'm the one answering them. So I guess it's his interview? I don't know. But go watch me and Lifer's interview on his channel. You guys, I don't have to. Okay, Crypto Lifer. You guys know who he is. Go check him out. Yeah, and go check out that video. Show some love. Hit that like button for him. And yeah, I think you guys will like it. We get we talk about a lot of stuff. So go check that out. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in. You are not just a number. You are the biggest part of this YouTube channel, guys. I'm just the crazy guy that screams on camera. You guys are this YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. And with all that being said, that's all the time I got for tonight's stream. I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after ATB. Shout out to DZ. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong. And in the spirit, guys, in the spirit of 3D printing, let's just go ahead and maybe we'll have like a 3D print off between Chemistry Bro and Tony D. I'm not really a 3D printer. I just know this because Tony D is a big 3D printer, so I just learned from him. But guys, let's just go ahead and show Chemistry Bro some love. Check out this clean resin print. I believe that's an NFT. I forget the name of it. But yeah, this is a pretty clean resin print right there, man. Shout out to Chemistry Bro. Yeah, this is actually just this is like a really cool thing to print, honestly. Super dope. Shout out to Chemistry Bro. You know, sometimes I come on for these little encores, guys, and I don't know what to do. Chemistry Bro shot me those resin prints. They looked pretty clean. That's pretty dope. Maybe we can get a Candleman NFT. Who knows? Shout out to Chemistry Bro. Shout out to the Candle Mafia, guys. That's all I got. Don't forget, pray to your candles, guys. Even if they're cashmere. You got to pray to them. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to the nasty juice that I have to drink. I'm going to go gag and try to choke the rest of this down. Hasta pasta, Candle Mafia. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Tyler Ramos. Tyler Ramos.